Hi, good morning. We're inside. I went outside to set up and my neighbor was using his power tools, so we came back inside and I figured we would do our story and then we will go on a hunt around our yard. We're going to do a little bit of a photo journal today. So Millie, say good morning to the boys and the girls. Say hello. Give them a boop. Say mwah. All right. So we've been talking a little bit about trees. We talked about what makes trees living things and how trees grow up. So today we're going to talk about the parts of a tree. And I have this book. This is a nice nonfiction science book called Be a Friend to Trees by Patricia Lauber. And it's illustrated by Holly Keller. And after that, we will go on a hunt around my yard and we'll do a little activity that shows us all the different parts of the trees. So we got Be a Friend to Trees. Be a friend to trees. And these are all the parts of the tree. We've got the roots, the trunk, the inner bark, the outer bark, the branches, the twigs, and the leaves. We're going to talk about the important functions that each part of the tree serves. Trees are nice. They are nice to look at, and they are nice to have around. Trees are also useful. Both people and animals need trees of all kinds, sizes, and shapes. Everything that is made of wood was once part of a tree. Look around you. How many wooden things do you see? Make a list, and don't forget to count your pencil. Maybe even your house, right? So we've got chairs and tables, fences and benches, wagons, sporting equipment, lots of things come from trees. Even the paper you're writing on. Look at that. Paper also comes from trees. Wood is chopped into small pieces, mixed with chemicals, and heated. The wood softens and becomes pulp, which is used to make paper and cardboard. Writing paper, books, newspapers, magazines, paper towels, cereal boxes, milk cartons, and many other things. Make another list of everything you see as paper, and don't forget the paper you're writing on. Some trees can be tapped for their sap. Sap from different trees is used to make maple syrup, chewing gum, soap, paint thinner, and rubber. So we can use all the different parts of the trees. Trees are green plants, and so they make their own food. Green plants are the only living things that can do this. Other living things depend on green plants for food. Some eat parts of plants. Some eat the plant eaters, and some eat both. You eat the parts of trees known as fruits and nuts. Apples, oranges, pears, cherries, peaches, walnuts, almonds, pecans, hazelnuts, and lots of others. Chocolate also comes from a tree. It is made from the seeds of cocoa trees. Many animals eat parts of trees. Caterpillars eat leaves. So do deer. So do koalas. And so do giraffes and elephants. Porcupines eat the inner bark of trees, as well as buds and leaves. Squirrels and chipmunks gather nuts to eat. Bees find food in the flowers of trees. They collect pollen and the sugary liquid called nectar. Birds eat seeds and fruits from trees. And those are only a few of the animals that find their food in trees, right? All the herbivores. Many animals make their homes in trees. Birds roost in trees. They build nests and raise their young in trees. Squirrels nest in trees. Monkeys live in trees. Some tree frogs spend their whole lives in trees without ever coming down. Honeybees make hives in tree hollows. Many other insects also live in trees. So do small creatures such as spiders. Deer find shelter beneath trees of forests and woodlands. They find safe places to hide their young. The roots of trees hold soil in place. They keep it from washing away in heavy rains or floods. We'll try that one more time because he's distracting me with his big, loud mouth. 3, 2, 1. The roots of trees hold soil in place. They keep it from washing away in heavy rains or floods of water from melting snow. When soil is held in place, water sinks into it and is stored in the ground. Many people depend on water that is stored underground. They draw it up to the surface through wells. Trees do something else that is very important, and it has to do with the air we breathe. Air is made of gases. One of them is oxygen. It is the gas that our bodies need. It is the gas that all animals need. Each time we breathe, we take in oxygen out of the air, but the supply is never used up. The reason is that trees and other green plants keep putting oxygen into the air. They give off oxygen as they make their food. Trees make their food in their leaves. The leaves can be broad, like the ones you see on a maple tree, or they can be narrow and pointed, like the needle-shaped leaves you see on a fir or pine tree. But all of these leaves do the same work. They make the food for the trees. To make food, leaves use water, which they take from the ground. They use a gas called carbon dioxide, which they get from the air. And they use sunlight as energy. With the energy from the sun, the green leaves put the water and carbon dioxide together and they make a kind of sugar. The making of food by plants is called photosynthesis. It's just a big word that means putting together with light. So they take the water from the earth, they take the carbon dioxide from the air and the energy from the sun, and this tree can make its very own food with just those 3 things. Trees need food just to stay alive. They also need food for growth, to make new wood, leaves, twigs, fruits, and nuts. Some of a tree's food is used right away, but some is stored up for future use. While making food, leaves also make oxygen that they don't need, and they get rid of that by pushing it out into the air. And guess who needs that? We do. Much of the oxygen that people and animals need comes from trees. Without them, we might not be here at all. So trees are more than nice. They are something we can't live without. And that is why everyone should be a friend to trees. And so here are some tips on how you can be a friend to trees. Use less paper, right? If you color a picture, make sure you're always using the back. Take along a reusable bag when you go to the market. Use less paper, like paper towels, better to use a rag. And make sure you recycle the paper that you have and the cardboard that you have around your home. And the last thing you can do to be a friend of trees is help plant a tree. And we did that yesterday, right? We found all of my baby acorns and we pulled some up and we're going to plant them. So, right? Helping plant a tree. So we're gonna go on a hunt around my yard, and we're going to take a photo journal. We're going to take a photo journal, which is something that scientists will also do. They like to collect real specimens and look at them up close, but you know, specimens don't always last and they're hard to preserve. So another thing that scientists do is they take a lot of photographs, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look around my yard and see if we can take some photos of different parts of the tree up close. And we're going to use those different parts in different experiments that we do throughout the rest of our investigation. Okay? Okay, so we are going to stroll around the garden, and we're going to take in my yard, and we're going to take pictures of the different parts of the tree. Like, remember how we read in that book, Our Trees Living? It made a great analogy between the parts of the trees and their functions. So let's take a look around. We're going to start from the bottom up. So the first thing are the roots. And the roots are what anchor the tree into the earth, just like your feet help you balance as you walk around. So trees don't go anywhere. The roots keep them anchored into the earth. The next part of a tree that I want to show you is the trunk. The trunk is like the tree's body, right? So here you can see it goes all the way up the tippy top of the tree. That's the tree's trunk. Just like you have a body, a tree. We have a willow tree. I want you to pay attention to the branches. And we've got this whole so we've got all these branches. The branches of a tree are useful. This is sort of, the book said this is similar to our arms. So the branches hold up things that live in the tree, like birds' nests or animals, right? You know, the squirrel likes to climb on the branches. And it also is what the leaves grow. The next bit is called the bark. This is kind of like a tree's skin. It protects the tree. It keeps out germs, and it protects it from the weather. And bark can be all different textures. So this one has a rough bark. That bark looks pretty rough. Upstate by our cabin, we have a tree that has very papery, delicate bark. But let's see, this one, this is my walking stick. Look at the branches on this one, they're all curly. But this is an example of a tree that sort of has a smooth bark. The next part of the tree is called the crown. And I'm using this oak tree in my backyard as an example of the crown. That's like our head, right? One has a big crown. That's the crown of the willow. One is my lilac tree. Here we have our leaves. And the leaves are important to a tree because they help a tree breathe. So just like we have a nose and a mouth to help us breathe, the tree breathes through its leaves. Here we have some fruit. This is a dogwood tree, and in the springtime it makes flowers that attract the birds and the bees. And now you can see that a fruit. And last but not least, we've got our seeds, right? Seeds help plants to grow because everything that the plant needs to start its life is found in that seed. So there we have it, all the parts of a tree.
Join me in singing this fun song about the parts of trees. Roots, trunk, branches, leaves. Roots, trunks, branches, leaves. Buds and fruits and flowers in the breeze. Those are the parts of trees. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. No, trees don't have those. They have roots and trunks, branches